The word blockchain became popular very quickly, but nowadays people are trying to understand what is in question and what is meant in general by this word combination. Let's listen to those who are in charge of the blockchain conference in this coming October. So the word blockchain becomes familiar to more and more people, but can you please tell me what are we talking about when we speak about blockchain?
Let's start with the definition. A blockchain is a distributed database. In other words, data warehouses are not linked by each other by a common processor. A blockchain is a list of arranged records that are called blocks, and each consecutive block has a timestamp and a hash of the previous one.
But the definition is quite clear, but can you tell me what is the confusion then?
The confusion of terms may arise from the fact that a blockchain means both the technology used to create the ledger and what it creates, the ledger itself. Besides, even though the blockchain technology has gone from beyond cryptocurrencies and financial instruments in general, many people continue to associate this technology exclusively with virtual currencies.
But why did the blockchain become so popular and what are the reasons for it?
First, thanks to a practically fail-safe work for the system of over 7 years, the business community has tried to find if anything else apart from electronic currencies can be used in the distributed ledger. It turned out that the essential characteristics of the technology meet the requirements of many spheres, from banking services to digital protection of intellectual property, and the attempts of using this technology in other spheres have led to the emergence of new types of blockchains.
So you mean there are many different types of blockchain?
Yeah, indeed. In general, we speak about three kinds of permissioned and unpermissioned ledgers. More specifically, the unpermissioned public ledgers, where all the participants control the process of verification as for crypto. Then you have the permissioned public ledgers, where the process of verification is controlled by pre-selected nodes. For example, we can imagine a consortium of 15 banks, for example. And then we have the permissioned private ledger, where blockchain permissions are controlled by a centralized agency.
But where else, apart from the cryptocurrencies, blockchain can be used?
It has many applications, for example, in copyright transaction with commodities and raw materials, data management, authenticity checks, and confirmation of access rights. We can even use it in the management of our governance, for example.
So a blockchain is an absolutely new technology according to the professionals. Do you think this new technical revolution can bring any problems to be used in business or not?
In my view, the main problem is a gap of knowledge between the technology pioneers and the service providers. I will explain. To make a working business of this idea, you need to set up a company, find the necessary funds, and sort out several administrative and legal problems. To fix all this, our pioneers need the assistance of, for instance, a banker or a lawyer. These institutions might have heard about something about blockchain, but it is very superficial and confusing for them. And how can a pioneer convince a banker granting him a loan for a new venture, for example, if the latter does not understand the essence of the business and cannot calculate and assess its profits and losses?
It's a bit complicated, but what do we do in this case?
Unfortunately or fortunately, division into professions is really conventional. Even if you are a lawyer or a banker, you must give interest in the developments of your specific field, but also in what's happening in global business as a whole. And that includes the new trends and technologies. At the end of the day, your clients are primarily entrepreneurs. And of course, it is virtually impossible to know everything about the technical details of, for example, blockchain. But having a critical point of view of the subject and a good understanding of these new technologies' essence is a must. To be honest, whenever you fail to respond to your clients, you become incompetent.
So what to do in this case? I mean, not everyone has lots of time to study thousands of pages in the internet.
Absolutely. It seems to me that the best way out of this case is to participate in workshops and conferences where leading specialists can explain in detail and in short time the core of this new technology and warn about tax, regulatory or financial pitfalls to avoid. In this type of workshop, we have decided to organize for our clients and for lawyers, bankers and entrepreneurs. Every day there are lots of conferences in blockchain in the world, but most of them are either for startups or for specialists in the field. In a way, service providers are left out. They need help in the first place, and armed with the necessary knowledge about the blockchain and pitfalls related to its use in different jurisdictions, I remember, these service providers can provide better help to blockchain pioneers to implement their ideas and launch working and successful business projects.
So when is your workshop and what interesting have you prepared for your guests?
Our workshop will be hosted in Montreux in Switzerland on 11th of October, and you will find all the necessary information at www.ipglobal.ch. We wanted this conference to be technical but highly accessible to the public as a whole. The agenda includes two sessions. The first is about blockchain as a technology, its use in specific fields and businesses. And we will hear about success stories of companies who will tell us about the hurdles they had to overcome before becoming profitable businesses. The second half will be devoted to legislation in various jurisdictions and the issues of KYC to ascertain the origins of funds in cryptocurrencies, problems of accounting for these assets, and questions from banks and cryptocurrencies. We will even have a representative from Maltese government to tell us about the new laws on the blockchain and in his country. These laws were adopted really recently, 2 months ago. And the agenda is, I think, really interesting and useful for all those who want to get the latest updates on blockchain as a technology and to understand it as an asset in which bankers and lawyers and even regulators will have to increasingly work in the next future.
Thank you very much, José. Looking forward for it.
Great. Thank you, Sophia.
Today with us was José Carrera, the partner of the IP Global Solutions company, and me, Sofia Bizbogina, the journalist of the Expat News, with the support of Dukascopy TV. See you soon again.